Okay, Grandpa, tell us about that time when you were going out in that supply boat and you got shot at by a Japanese plane?
Officer, after Rodriguez is handcuffed. The officer... What was that?
You want me to tell you what?
Do you remember that time you were in the supply boat and you got shot at or something by a Japanese plane?
A kamikaze plane was on its way to hit a light cruiser, a battleship, a big ship, and we were going in to unload on the beach, and we were running his line of fire. So he bent over and strafed us, and every third bullet is a incinerated bullet, and that's so that they could see where they're going. Every third bullet is a bullet that lights up, and it's hot. And we were hauling some gasoline, and
so there were other people. You weren't by yourself.
No, in that boat there was me and 4 other guys.
How did you survive that?
Well, the boat caught on fire because it was aviation gasoline. We had it 55-gallon barrels, and we had Mae West or life jacket on, and we had helmets, and we went overboard, and the boat went about 200 yards and blew up.
So did you like duck under the steering wheel or something so the bullets wouldn't get at you or something?
Well,
or is that another story?
Where the coxswain was, is where I was. It had armor plate went up around 3 sides. But on the starboard side or right side, there was no door or armor plate because in rough weather that could crush you. You know, if you want to get out in the thick clothes. So it had armor plate, and then if you were being strafed down in the engine compartment, which was had 2 engines down there, big engines. They were 250 horsepower Al Scott Defenders. And you could get in there, and that was all covered in steel. An LCM was all steel. An LCVP was all wood. And an LCVP, you had no protection.
Ouch.
None. There was no place to get. There was no place to hide. But an LCM there was, and the crew, if they were a little nervous, you had 2 gunner's mates that they were kept pretty busy if you were under attack, and that left 2 guys that didn't really have a lot to do. They could get down in the engine room and be relatively safe.
So everybody survived? Nobody was hurt?
No. We were in the water about an hour because it was just getting dark. And nobody was looking down at the water. They were looking up. And finally we were picked up after we'd been in the water a couple, 3 hours by a ship that went by, and we were able to holler loud enough because the engines make so much noise. The guys aboard couldn't hear you, and they were awful close. And we finally got to stop. And they fished us out of the water and took us into the beach where they unloaded, and then took us back to the ship where they had to go to pick up another load. And then they put us aboard another boat to run it. One of the guys got hurt, and the boat was sitting there, needed a crew, and so that was us. And we went for hours and hours and hours and never left the boat. Occasionally they would lower us a thermos of coffee, and if we happened to be close to a ship other than our own, they would feed us. If we were close to our ship, we ate aboard it. If we weren't close, we ate aboard the ship we were closest to.
Is that all you want to say?
Yeah.
Thank you, Grandpa.